time that LeBron James starts to put up historical numbers, the conversation of who's better, him or Michael Jordan, always comes up. And I'm tired of it. So I'm going to do you guys a favor and myself and put this conversation to a rest. LeBron James is never going to pass Michael Jordan for the greatest of all time. Now the reason why I make this bold statement is because Michael Jordan had a stardom that wasn't just in the US, it was all over the world. Globally, he was known. And while LeBron James is globally known, it was nowhere close to what Michael Jordan was. Now the second reason, Michael Jordan went to the NBA Finals, he came away with a ring. He never lost. He went 6-0, and I believe that he would have went 8-0 if he had not retired halfway in the middle of his playing career. That's already too late for LeBron James. He cannot go perfect in the NBA Finals. He's already lost. But that's not the only reason. Every morning Michael Jordan woke up, he wanted to beat the best. He didn't just want to join them to chase rings. No matter what LeBron James does in his career, he's never going to pass him. That's just the truth. You know, he can go ahead and win 7 championships, win 8 championships, which is pretty impossible unless he joins the Warriors, but I would not be surprised at today's game. He just won't pass Michael Jordan, and that's it. That's the end to the conversation. There's nothing wrong with being second to the greatest of all time. The next segment that I'm going to be getting into is going to be called Beef or No Beef. So it's going to be examining issues that are going on in the sports world and deciding whether they're beef or if they're not beef. Pretty simple. Let's get started. Goes to baseball. And on April 21st, Manny Machado slid into second base and spiked Dustin Pedroia of the Boston Red Sox on the back of the leg. Now this issue is better known as Red Sox versus Orioles. The Red Sox thought that he did it on purpose, and 2 days later in the game, Matt Barnes, Boston's reliever, threw a fastball at Dustin's head, barely scratching his hat. He was suspended for 4 games. The issue continued in games after that where both teams were throwing balls at each other. Now, is this really beef? Hell no, I don't think so, man. I think it's just grown men being stupid and throwing 90 miles an hour balls at each other's head. They need to stop it before someone gets hurt. That's not beef. Now me myself, I don't watch a lot of baseball, but for the people that do, I'm sure they don't watch the games to see someone dead on the ground. So y'all need to stop throwing balls. Now the next issue takes us to the NBA. It's between Kelly Olynyk of the Boston Celtics and Kelly Oubre of the Washington Wizards. Now in Game 3 of the Boston Celtics versus Wizards series, Kelly Olynyk set a hard screen on Oubre, knocking him to the floor. Oubre got up, went up and pushed Kelly Olynyk to the ground. The refs were quick enough to stop it. And, you know, the issue between those two teams has been going on. But is this really beef? I don't think so. But a player in the NBA is trying to make it beef. And of all players, I'm surprised at this guy for even, opening his mouth. His name is Draymond Green. He went out to reporters and called Kelly Olynyk a dirty player. Now, of all people, Draymond Green should not be calling anyone a dirty player, especially when he's always kicking around and he's probably going to get suspended again. The next issue is definitely my favorite. It's Ray Allen versus the 2008 Boston Championship team. Now, on Monday, I don't know if a lot of you watched the show Area 21. It's Kevin Garnett's talk show on TNT. And they had a little reunion party for the 2008 team. But Ray Allen was left out, and he was a pivotal part of that team. But why was he left out? Well, in 2012, when he had a chance to sign with Boston again, he left that team and joined the rival Miami Heat. Now, the players don't really like that, so they kind of shut him out of everything. They're planning on a trip to Europe over the summer, and he's not invited because they don't want him around. Is this beef? Hell yes, this is beef. It's not really fair that they're leaving him out of the trip. But, you know, they gave him a chance. They wanted him to be the one to break the ice. But Ray Allen doesn't seem to be interested in breaking the ice. And a lot of the players admitted that they weren't really, mad that he left. It's just the way in which he left. Just like the Russell Westbrook and the KD situation. Someone's got to apologize. And the person that caused the issue doesn't seem to want to apologize. So this beef will go on and on, back and forth, until Ray Allen puts on his big boy pants. That was the end of beef or no beef. But let's jump to the real issue of the NBA right now. This thing is boring. This thing is predictable. Let's get to the finals already. Everyone is bored. Unless you're a Warriors or Cavs fan who doesn't like competition. You're bored. We know it's going to be Warriors versus Cavs, so let's just jump to that. Let's just skip all these other games. This is just a waste of time. I want to get to the interesting stuff in the finals and watch those games. And then finish with that and then do the NBA drafts. And hopefully the teams are a little more even. Because this year, it hasn't been even. And we all knew it. Now while the Cavs were resting through the season, preparing for the end, which they're rightfully to, because there's no point in wasting their time when they know it's going to be them versus the Warriors. They need to prepare for that, and that's exactly what they did. So let's do us all a favor and jump to the final, because that's what I'm waiting for. Before I leave, I have a tip for you guys that I think will help you in the long run. If you are ever in Massachusetts, do yourself a favor and never get a haircut. You know, I've gotten my haircut 3 times, and all 3 of those times, they've messed up. That's the reason why I'm wearing this. So I went over yesterday and I'm like, give me a fade. She was like, okay, oh, you want a fade? That's easy, we can do that. I was like, okay. So I sat down. You know, I like closing my eyes when I'm getting my hair cut. So I had my eyes closed so I couldn't see what the hell she was doing, which was my fault. But then when she was done, like freaking 10 minutes later, like it doesn't take 10 minutes to do a fade. No, I looked at my hair and it looks like this. This is not a fade, yo. She made me bald on all sides. This is not a fade. I don't know if they don't know what a fade is, but just do yourself a favor and don't get a haircut here. Now this hat's going on. Bye.